security first because we are fast approaching the next election. I want to assure you that the confidence and faith we had in you then is still there and stronger. We have seen you make tough political decisions, tough economic decisions, tough policy decisions that have made Kenya stable today, and it was not stable then. So we want to assure you, Your Excellency, that we are still sure, more than any other time, that you are still the best man to carry the mantle of Kenya into another 5 years. We are still sure that you are the best presidential candidate for 2027. But we are even more sure that you are going to be the 6th president of the Republic of Kenya. So kwa wote, all the aspirants here present, muko tayari tufanye kazi? Muko tayari kushikilia UDA? Muko tayari kushikilia President William Ruto? Muko tayari kushikilia fireman Professor Kithure Kindiki? Na wauliza President William Ruto, ni fire si fire? Ni noma si noma? Naye fireman himself, Professor Kithure Kindiki, fire si fire? Ni noma si noma? Now I wish to take this opportunity to welcome Professor Kithure Kindiki. Kithure Kindiki, allow me to call our deputy party leader to come and say something, the governor of Lamu County. Karibu sana, my colleague. Karibu sana.
Rais William Samoei Ruto, the Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki, Prime Cabinet Secretary Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, Party Chair, the Iron Lady wa UDA, Madam Cecily Mbarire, SG wetu and all party officials. UDA, UDA, kazi ni kazi, kazi ni kazi. Mheshimiwa Rais, Waswahili husema dalili ya mvua, dalili ya mvua. Sasa jamani, tukiwa wengi hivi, sisi tunatashwishi kwa tutashinda. Ushindi ni wa Rais, wewe ni amiri mkuu wa majeshi ya Kenya, lakini leo wewe pia ni amiri mkuu wa jeshi hili la UDA. Hili ndio jeshi. Haiko wale wengine wana maneno. Basi tuwaambia wakome na maneno yao. Wapende wasipende, President Ruto atachukua ushindi asubuhi na mapema. Hata sisi tunataka hiyo 2027 ifike hata kesho. Si tuko tayari? Ama tuna wasiwasi? So Rais, weka hapo ukijua ili jeshi lako litakufanyia kazi na tutachukua ushindi. Na vile wewe unasema tushinde na zaidi ya kura milioni 3, mimi naona tutashinda na zaidi ya kura milioni 5. UDA, leo ni siku ya Rais, na kusema ukweli, we are pleasantly surprised by the numbers wa wale wanataka kuwa wagombeaji kura wa chama chetu cha UDA. Kwa hivyo ni furaha tele, na tu ni hakikisho kwa sisi sote, we are in the right party. We are in the right party. Na leo ni historia. Wale walikuwa wanafikiria UDA haina umaarufu. Si leo watakomeka? Si watakomeka? Kwa hivyo, Rais Ruto, you are the best presidential candidate. There is no doubt. Na Professor Kindiki, it goes without saying. Si yeye ni fire? Ni fire si fire? Ni noma si noma? Kwa hivyo wacha nichukue fursa hii kumkaribisha kwa makofi Professor Kithure Kindiki.
Asante. Harambee! Harambee! UDA! UDA! Kazi ni kazi! Kazi ni kazi! Wacha nione tutam. UDA ni fire si fire. UDA ni noma si noma. UDA ni mbwekse si mbwekse. Wacha nione mbwekse ya William Ruto jameni. Mbwekse. Asanteni sana, naomba tuketi. Leo ni leo, msema kesho. Leo ni leo, msema kesho. Bas, wenzangu wanachama wa UDA, wagombea viti mbalimbali vya kisiasa. Leo kiongozi wa chama chetu Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto amenipatia muda kidogo kueleza mahali tumefikisha agenda yetu kama chama, kwa sababu watu wengi wanajua ya kwamba siku ile tulikuwa tunaomba kura tulikuwa na manifesto. Ni kweli si kweli? Si tulikuwa na manifesto? Kwa hivyo inatakikana wewe kama mgombea wa kiti cha kisiasa kwa chama chetu ujue vile utajibu maswali ya vile tumefikisha agenda yetu na manifesto yetu, na ile imebaki ujue vile utaeleza mpango ambao tuko nayo wa kukamilisha manifesto yetu ambayo tutaitimiza 100%, 100%. Niendelee nisiendelee? Niendelee nisiendelee? Kitu cha kwanza, mnajua ya kwamba 2022 wakati Rais William Ruto anaapishwa kama rais wa Kenya, tulikuwa na matatizo mengi ya kiuchumi kwa sababu nyingi, ikiwemo ile season tulikuwa tumepitia ya maneno ya uchumi wetu kufungwa kwa sababu ya ugonjwa wa corona. Shilingi ya Kenya haikuwa na nguvu. Wakati rais ameapishwa, kupata dola moja ulikuwa unahitaji shilingi 165. Lakini kupitia kazi kubwa ambaye rais ametuongoza, tumeona ya kwamba shilingi ya Kenya imeimarika dhidi ya dola ya Marekani, na sasa kwa zaidi ya miaka miwili shilingi ya Kenya imekuwa dhabiti na imekuwa shilingi 128 kwa dola moja for more than 2 years now. That shows that our currency is stronger than it was in 2022. Rais William Ruto ni fire si fire? You all know that the inflation rate was at 9.6%. Today, inflation has come down. In December, it was 4.5%. In January, Central Bank has given the figure of 4.4%. Inaendelea ikiteremuka. Siku ile rais anaapishwa 2022, hakukuwa na foreign exchange ya kufanya biashara. Wale wanafanya biashara wakitoa bidhaa nje ya nchi ndio wauze na wapate riziki yao. We did not have enough dollars. Our foreign exchange reserve in 2022 was $5.7 billion. Today, we have more than doubled the amount of foreign exchange available at the central bank. Today, we have $12.1 billion as foreign exchange. Na hiyo ndio imesaidia kiasi kudhibiti uchumi wetu. Shilingi iko na nguvu zaidi, inflation ama mfumuko wa bei umeshuka, na pia tuko na dollar reserves ya kutosha. Niendelee nisiendelee? Mnajua ya kwamba 2022 uchumi wa Kenya ulikuwa umeorodheshwa kama uchumi namba 8 barani Afrika. Mwaka uliopita uchumi wa Kenya umeorodheshwa sasa, umepanda ngazi kutoka number 8 in Africa to now the 6th largest economy in Africa. Tumepita nchi mbili ikiwemo Angola na Ethiopia. Rais Ruto, ni fire si fire? Tuendelee tusiendelee? Kwa hivyo ukiangalia, if you look at what economists call macroeconomic indicators, the strength of the shilling, inflation rates, interest rates, foreign exchange reserves, if you look at all those indicators, you will find that President Ruto, through difficult decisions, has stabilized the economy. We have a more stable economy than we had in 2022, na ndio tunasema Rais Ruto aendelee. Aendelee asiendelee? Aendelee asiendelee? Jambo la pili ni mambo ya kilimo, mambo ya ufugaji na mambo ya uchumi samawati. The majority of the people of Kenya earn their living, they earn their daily bread from either farming, from keeping of livestock, or from the blue economy activities. More than 70% of the people of Kenya depend on farming, depend on livestock, depend on the blue economy activities. Tumefanya nini mpaka saa hii? Tumehakikisha kwamba wakulima ambao walikuwa wanapata fertilizer kwa bei ghali 2022, bei ya fertilizer ilikuwa 7,000, leo ni 2,500. Jambo la pili, tumehakikisha kwamba kupitia sera za kubadilisha kilimo, tumevuna mahindi ya kutosha. In the last 3 years, we have improved our harvest of maize, which is the staple food in our country, from 44 million bags in 2022 to 67 million bags in 2024 and 75 million bags in 2025. Rais Ruto, ni fire si fire? Ni fire si fire? Bei ya kahawa imeongezeka. Kahawa kilo moja 2022 ilikuwa shilingi 70. Leo 120, 130, 140, 150, 160 ikisonga mbele. Ni kweli si kweli? Ni kweli si kweli? Wale ambao ni wakulima wa miwa, mnajua ya kwamba tulikuwa na matatizo mengi, hatukuwa tunapata sukari ya kutosha. We have improved our sugar production in our country from 472,000 metric tons in 2022 to currently 815,000 metric tons. We have reduced the amount of imported sugar by 70%. Tulifanya nini? Tukiongozwa na Rais Ruto, tuliweka sheria mpya, a new sugar act. Ya pili, tukafukuza cartels, wale walikuwa wananyanyasa wakulima. Ya tatu, tukapeana subsidized fertilizer for the first time to sugarcane farmers. We increased the number of acreage under sugarcane production by an extra 200,000 acres. And today, sugarcane is doing well. The farmers, when they deliver sugarcane, are paid every 7 to 10 days. The workers are paid at the end of the month. And for the first time since sugarcane farming was introduced in Kenya, the sugarcane farmers walilipwa bonus kama wale wa majani chai na wale wa kahawa. Rais Ruto ni fire, si fire. That is what we are doing in agriculture. We have so many other value chains. Time will not allow us to discuss all of them. In livestock production, we are producing more more milk than before. In 2022, milk production in Kenya was at 4.6 billion liters. Today, or last year, we have moved from 4.6 billion liters to 5.3 billion liters. Ni fire, si fire. The value of our exports of milk products, dairy products, to the regional market, neighboring countries, the value of our export has risen tremendously. And from what we used to have, 4.9 billion shillings in 2022, and last year we were able to reach 8.9 billion shillings. Rais Ruto aendelee asiendelee? Aendelee asiendelee? Our export of meat for livestock farmers has improved by 45%, and last year we were able to export 12.9 billion shillings for meat exporters from Kenya. Na pale Kenani Athi River tuko karibu kukamilisha sasa Kenya Leather Industrial Park ambaye itafanya value addition ambaye tumelilia kwa miaka mingi. For more than 60 years we have been wanting to add value to leather products so that we can make our own shoes, we can make our own bags, and make more money for livestock farmers. The Kenani Leather Industrial Park is almost 90% complete. Hivi karibuni rais anaenda kufungua ili wakulima wale ambao ni wafugaji wapate faida zaidi, na we grow our industry, our manufacturing, and create more wealth for our country. Ni fire, si fire? Niendelee nisiendelee? Niendelee nisiendelee? In the blue economy sector, we are expanding the blue economy. We have already granted beach management units, wale ambao ni wavuvi. Tumepeana grants in 5 counties along the Indian Ocean, in 5 other counties along Lake Victoria shores. We have given grants so far worth 3.2 billion shillings to support fish farmers and people relying on the Indian Ocean and Lake Victoria to earn a living. We are also building fish landing sites. Some of them are complete, others are almost being completed. Along the Indian Ocean, tumemaliza fish landing sites, zingine bado zinaendelea kujengwa, from Lunga Lunga all the way to Mombasa, Kidongo, all the way to Kilifi, Kichwa cha Kati, all the way to Kipini in Tana River, all the way to Mokowe in Lamu, fish landing site, to make sure that we don't have post-harvest losses for our fishermen. When they bring fish, they land in a good place. There is a cooling facilities to make sure that the fish do not rot before they are sold. Around Lake Victoria, we are doing fishing landing sites all the way from Sori in Migori, upwards into Homa Bay, upwards into Kisumu, into Busia, and already some of the landing sites are complete, others are continuing. And therefore, we are also building a fish quality testing laboratory, one in Mombasa and another one in Kisumu, to support fish farmers and build our blue economy. Kitu ya tatu, number 3, ni mambo ya elimu. Mimi nimesikia watu wengine wakiongea mambo ya elimu. Wacha niseme yale tuliahidi na yale tulifanya. Yale tumefanya tayari. Kitu ya kwanza ambayo Rais Ruto alifanya wakati alichaguliwa rais, aliita wataalamu wa mambo ya elimu. The president put in place immediately after his election a presidential working party on education reforms, which was led by Professor Raphael Munavu. That working party assisted the president and the government to implement well thought out education reforms. And I want to report today, number one, in 2022, the budget for education was 500 billion shillings. Today, it is 702 billion shillings. Tumeongeza hatujaongeza? Tumeongeza hatujaongeza? Number two, you look at our manifesto. We sat with the teachers and the other stakeholders in education sector during the campaigns. And we established that we had a deficit of 116,000 teachers. In other words, we did not have enough teachers. We committed during the campaign that we will close the gap so that you can have a good ratio of teachers to pupils. In the last 3.5 years, President Ruto's administration has employed 100,000 teachers, the highest number of teachers employed by any administration in a period of 4 years. Hapo awali tulikuwa tunaandika walimu 4,000 kwa mwaka, 5,000 kwa mwaka. Na kwa sababu tulikuwa tunahitaji kuajiri walimu 116,000 in 5 years, tukaona tukienda na hiyo style hatutafika. And therefore you can see, if we continued employing 5,000 teachers per year, it would have taken 20-something years to employ 116,000 teachers. Nearly 24 years. William Ruto has already employed 100,000. We are remaining with 16,000. Na hii mwaka tunamalizana na hiyo commitment. Rais Ruto ni fire, si fire. President Ruto's administration has also built 23,000 classrooms. Is in the process of building 1,600 laboratories. President Ruto's administration, the UDA administration, the Kenya Kwanza administration has also ensured that going forward, we reduce the number of university students who cannot afford to pay fees. We have introduced a new student-centered funding model that looks at the needs of the individual student as opposed to sending money to universities. And today, I can assure you that many universities that were facing insolvency have come out of insolvency because of the new university funding model. We have increased the money that we give HELB, Higher Education Loans Board. In 2022, it was 17 billion. Last year, 41 billion. We have increased the money we give our universities. In 2022, it was 41 billion, 45 billion. Today, or last year, it was 82 billion. And therefore, I want to hear those who are criticizing this administration in matters education to look at Kenyans in the eye and tell us what facts, what logic are they using in their assessment. Mimi nasema hivi vile vile. Munajua wakati wa campaign, everywhere we went, wananchi walikuwa wanasema abolish CBC. Ni kweli si kweli? Kwa sababu CBC ilikuwa na mzigo, curriculum ilikuwa na mzigo mkubwa kwa wazazi Mtoto anakuja nyumbani, anaambiwa tengeneza gari overnight. Sijui shona, sijui nini, shona kitenge, upeleke shule asubuhi. Wazazi walikuwa wanasema toa hiyo CBC. Leo mmesikia hiyo kelele ya curriculum ya CBC? Si imeisha? Mwenye kunyorosha ni nani? Mwenye kunyorosha ni nani? Rais Ruto ni fire si fire? Aendelea si endelee? Kwa mambo ya TVET, munajua ya kwamba this government so far has employed 3,300 TVET tutors or lecturers. For a long time, the government had forgotten that sector. Enrollment ya wale wanafunzi wako kwa TVET. You know, ordinarily, kwa sababu mimi ni mtu nimekuwa hapo mbele nilikuwa nafundisha, I can say this: you should have more young people in TVETs and tertiary colleges than in universities. Si ni kweli? But we found an inverted pyramid. There were more students in university than in TVETs. Today, the figure of TVET students, which was at 297,000 in 2022, has risen to 718,000 in 3 years. Today, we have introduced far-reaching curriculum changes in TVET, including modularization, to allow Juakali artisans and other people who want to go to TVET to come in for 2-3 weeks for a module, go back and work, come later for another module, go and work, come for another module, and accumulate a credit system that will give them a final certificate once they finish all the modules. So we have introduced curriculum changes to introduce modularization of the curriculum, to introduce recognition of prior learning, and to introduce the dual training policy that mandates or that makes it mandatory for all TVET students to have industry experience before they graduate. Ni 2 terms, si 2 terms. 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 Wacha nione mbwekse ya William Ruto jameni, mbwekse. Wale ambao wanaongea mambo ya elimu safadhali, I want to reiterate what the party leader said recently. Please don't disturb us. We are trying to sort out the mess you created in the education sector. Tunataka tuwawekee kibao hapo, men at work. Don't disturb. Don't disturb. Wewe abana sumbua sisi. We are busy fixing the problems that you left in the education sector. Ni fire, si fire. Ni fire, si fire. And you know what surprises us? The people lecturing us about schools, about education, during their tenure, all these problems were manufactured when they were in office. Shida ya curriculum, shida ya no teachers, no classrooms, all these problems were manufactured when they were in office. And the only track record we know of when they are in office, when they were in office, in that sector of education, is selling land for a school here in Nairobi called Ruaraka. Si kuna ardhi iliuzwa hapa ya Ruaraka ya shule? Si mnajua wale waliuza? Hao watu wawachane na sisi. Tutawaibisha. 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 Wewe nani wewe? Wewe nani? Wewe. Wacha bwana. Thank you very much. So, wasituchokoze, na wakituchokoza Tutawaambia vile tuliambia ule mwingine pale Mbeere North. Tutawaambia vile tuliambia ule mwingine pale Mbeere North. Simulisikia mambo ya Mbeere North? Ile mambo ya Wamuthende. Wewe nani wewe? Wewe nani wewe? Wewe nani wewe? Wewe nani wewe? Bas. Number 4. Naomba tuketi jameni. Naomba tuketi. Number 4 ni mambo ya afya. Munajua ya kwamba we committed in our manifesto to change the health insurance program. Sio ati ni mambo tulianza wakati tumeingia ofisi. We said we will change it kwa sababu ile NHIF ilikuwa na Wakenya 7 million only, na tukasema ya kwamba hii NHIF iko na ubaguzi. Wakenya ni 55 million but only 7 million were covered by NHIF. Ilikuwa lazima uwe na mshahara, uwe na pesa ndio ukuwe na insurance ya NHIF. Tukabadilisha, tukaleta mfumo wa kufanya kila mtu akuwe sawa. We need to equalize everybody, whether you have a job or you don't have a job, whether you have a salary, you don't have a salary, you have a business, you don't have a business, you can fall sick, you need a medical cover which will take care of you and reduce your medical bills. Today, we have a better scheme that is covering more Kenyans. Instead of the 7 million Kenyans that were covered under NHIF, this morning, under SHA, Taifa Care, 29.2 million Kenyans are registered. Na bado tunaendelea. By December tutafika 45 million. By June next year tutafika 55 million. Hiyo ndio inaitwa universal health coverage ya kila mtu. The challenges that we are addressing now going forward is about the availability of the right drugs in time. Already we have decentralized the availability of health commodities. Hakuna haja sasa kubeba madawa kutoka KEMSA inaenda county headquarters. Madawa sasa inaenda direct kwa dispensary, kwa health center, kwa hospitali. We have also introduced a national equipment support program where we are installing equipment in our health facilities, and we are targeting eventually not to concentrate only on level 6, 5, and 4 as was done previously, but we want to take equipment now to level 2 and level 3 hospitals so that they can have the right equipment. Tuendelee tusiendelee. In terms of primary health care, you know one of the early policy decisions we made under President Ruto was to employ community health promoters. We have 107,000 CHPs in partnership with county government that are helping at the grassroots to educate the public and make sure that we prevent dangerous diseases from accumulating and from escalating to levels where they become expensive to treat. We have 107,831 CHPs supporting communities at the grassroots and helping them so that to prevent diabetes, to prevent hypertension, to prevent other diseases, and also to encourage those who have existing conditions to take their medicine and to change their lifestyles so that they can live longer, because if you have the right medical advice, even if you have a condition, you can live for a very long time. CHPs in fire, see fire. So we have done so much in the health sector. Because of time, let me go to number 5. Job creation. Kwa vijana. Niseme nisiseme. Niseme nisiseme. Many politicians are giving us lectures about unemployment and lack of income opportunities for young people. Many governments have come and gone, but we have never had a comprehensive, deliberate, intentional program run by government for creating jobs and income opportunities. This is the first time under the UDA administration. Niseme. Munajua tuko na program ya affordable housing. You know we have affordable housing where we are building houses for the people of Kenya to give them dignity. We want to increase the number of Kenyans who live in decent places. That program will transform Kenya in a way we will not believe. It will transform Kenya. That is how. Ni Singapore si Singapore. Ni Singapore si Singapore. That is how nations are built. And I want to challenge those naysayers who are saying that they will roll back the affordable housing program. I want you to tell us how else you can quickly increase Kenya's gross national income if you remove housing. The countries that the president is talking about all the time, Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, all these countries, one of the catalysts, one of the enablers of rapid development is a very well thought out housing and public infrastructure program. Next time they are going to do an assessment, the World Bank, you will see in a short while the placing that Kenya is going to get in the gross national index income per capita. Kwa sababu nyumba moja ni kama shilingi milioni 2, milioni 3, milioni 4. Now, ordinary people who would never have dreamed of owning a house are house owners. So when you count the income of that person, unaanza na nyumba 2 million. Kabla uhesabu ng'ombe na kuku na ngamia, huyo mtu amesonga. Tuendelee tusiendelee. But more than the houses that we are creating and building for Kenyans, we are creating jobs. Already. Na mnisikize kwa sababu nyinyi ndio mtaenda kuuza manifesto ya chama huko. The affordable housing program, which also has a market construction program. Si kuna masoko pale? Affordable housing peke yake, we have 235 active sites. Last week ilikuwa 230, lakini nimeambiwa asubuhi we have added 5 more sites. We are 235 sites today, active. We have 400 markets being constructed. We are doing hostels for our students, creating 177,000 student hostel beds across the country for our TVET and university students. We are also doing institutional housing that had collapsed for our police, for our prison officers, for our defense forces, using this affordable housing program. And today, the contracts that have been signed, if you add what has just been signed off, we are now approaching 800 billion Kenya shillings worth of contracts under this program. Once they finish the current procurement, we'll be achieving 800 billion worth of projects under affordable housing, markets, and also the construction of hostels and institutional housing. But more than that, we are creating jobs for our young people. That sector has now employed 500,000 young people who are not working in 2022. 500,000 young people. The president has directed the ministry and other stakeholders to make sure by the end of this year that program employs 1 million people. 1 million young people. All manner of jobs, architects, engineers, artisans, electricians, plumbers, everybody in between, quantity surveyors, hata watu ya kazi ya mkono wako area. Kwa hiyo affordable housing. So the people who want to roll back affordable housing program should tell us what they will do with the already 500,000 young people working under that program and who are likely to hit 1 million young people by the end of this year. But we also have another jobs and income creating avenue. We are also encouraging young people who are tech savvy to do digital jobs. What have we done to make sure that digital jobs are increased in the last 3.5 years, 4 years? Number one, we have increased the the construction of the fiber optic cable by 30,000 kilometers. We are also building G2 labs, ICT hubs, and we are also enlarging that space of ICT connectivity. And today, 316 G2 labs are operational. 403 ICT hubs are under construction. We are on target. We had promised 1,450 ICT hubs. We are already past 700 ICT hubs. We will complete that target ahead of the elections. And the Kazi Mtandaoni program, kwa sababu hiyo ya affordable housing, hiyo ya mambo ya hostels, hiyo mambo ya markets, hiyo yote ni kazi kwa ground. Alafu kuna kazi mtandaoni. ICT hubs, G2 labs, business process outsourcing. That sector now of kazi mtandaoni is employing 300,000 young people. We want by the end of the year to hit 1 million young people working under kazi mtandaoni. We are also having Kazi Maju program. Kazi Maju program. When President Ruto was sworn in, there were so many cartels harassing people, trying to assist people, using the pretext that they want to assist them to get jobs abroad. Cartels wakakuwa deregistered. Number two, we negotiated bilateral labor agreements with about 13 countries in all parts of the world to give legal protection to young people who leave Kenya to look for a job, earn an income, send some money home, and after a few years, return home and help us to build our country. So now we have a very well-structured Kazi Maju program, as a result of which, by this morning, 538,000 young people are working abroad. And as a result of that, we have increased our diaspora remittances. Ile pesa inatuma kutoka ng'ambo has increased by an extra $1 billion in the last 3 years. Under the leadership of President William Ruto, the Ministry of Labor and other stakeholders have been directed to work with all of us to make sure that the target for the Kazi Maju program also hits 1 million young people by the end of the year. So you'll have 1 million people. Right now ni 538,000 under Kazi Maju. Kazi Mtandaoni, currently 300,000. We want to increase to 1 million. Kazi kwa ground, kwa affordable housing, 500,000 today. We want to increase to 1 million by the end of the year. The other thing that the president has helped us to introduce is support for young people who may not have a degree, who may not have a diploma, but they have a talent to do business. So we have the Nyota program, which is ongoing at the moment. Under the Nyota program, we are going to reach to 820,000 young people to empower them, to create jobs, to become entrepreneurs, and also to be able to be assisted to access government procurement opportunities. And of course, we are also employing in the public service. I've talked about the 100,000 teachers. We are also helping the private sector to create jobs. So we have a well thought out program for creating jobs kwa ground, kwa mtandao, na majuu. Rais Ruto ni fire, si fire. Ati kazi kwa ground, kazi kwa mtandao, na kazi kwa ground, kazi mtandaoni, kazi. That is how you transform an economy. That is how you empower young people. Not by inciting young people and telling them they are hopeless, telling them they will never get any opportunity, and you are in leadership. I saw one character telling young people who are graduating, I want to tell you there are no jobs. How do you tell a young person leaving school that there is no opportunity in life? Instead of encouraging the young person, instead of helping the young person understand the opportunities that are available and give them hope as they wait for their turn. And therefore, this jobs and income creation program is going to help us create jobs for around 5 million young people, some working here on the ground, some working in the public sector, some in the private sector, some working in the internet, kazi mtandao, some working abroad, some doing business under Nyota. That is how you empower and transform the young people of a nation. Vijana hoye! Vijana hoye! Mimi najua aspirants wengi hapa ni vijana. That is what your party, UDA, believes in terms of empowering young people. Rais Ruto aendelee asiendelee? Aendelee namna hiyo? Very quickly, infrastructure. Infrastructure, barabara zilikuwa zimekwama. When President Ruto was sworn in 2022, all the contractors on Kenyan roads had stopped working. The roads that were started in 2014, 2015 had stalled across the country. Some of them stalled in 2018, others stalled in 2019, others in 2020. By the time President Ruto was sworn into office, we had pending bills owed to contractors of 190 billion Kenya shillings. President Ruto has paid all the pending bills for all the contractors, and therefore I can proudly confirm to you that all the stalled roads, the contractors are back. If they have not arrived, they are on the way, and those roads, we have enough money to build and complete them, a total of 6,000 kilometers. So our roads program is back. Electricity, in 2022, we had 8.8 million households connected to electricity. We have added an additional 1.3 million households in the last 4 years, and today we have 10.1 million households that are connected to power. The two terms. You have seen what the president has done around the Hustler Fund to bring financial inclusion. 7 million Kenyans who were listed and CRB blacklisted. Today, they have been removed from the blacklist the way we had promised in 2022. There is now Hustler Fund, which has been enhanced to give loans up to 150,000 shillings without logbook, without security, without collateral, as we had promised during the campaigns. Ni kazi si kazi. Ni kazi si kazi. The national savings, and listen to me on this one. When UDA government took power, the amount of money we had saved at NSSF was 320 billion shillings for 62 years. 320 billion shillings, 62 years. The last 2 years alone, NSSF now, the savings we have saved as Kenyans, because this is our money, has risen from 320 billion, we have doubled it, we have surpassed the double mark, we have raised an extra 350 billion. Today, NSSF is sitting on reserves of pension of 690 billion shillings. That figure is going to help us because we will reach 1 trillion in the next few months. That is the money that government will borrow to do high return infrastructure or infrastructure projects with high returns so that we stop borrowing money from overseas. We must redeem our country from the indignity and the embarrassment of having to borrow money around, because the money we get from World Bank, the money we get from overseas partners, it is money that has been saved by citizens of other countries. That is the money they loan the World Bank. The World Bank loans us that money. We will borrow our own money and remove Kenya from the shame of relying on foreign money. We are on the road to freedom. Say freedom is coming. Say freedom is coming. Say freedom is coming. We are on the road to freedom. I want to end my remarks by saying this about the future. First, we have done a good job. We are the first party in the history of Kenya that has governed using a manifesto and is following step by step, chapter by chapter, paragraph by paragraph, sentence by sentence, to make sure we implement that manifesto. Ni kweli si kweli? Si ni manifesto yetu. You will get a copy of our manifesto. The president is going to speak to that. You will also get the progress report, ama scorecard. So utakuwa na manifesto, what we promised and what we have achieved, so that you know what is remaining. So the president has led us to think about the future. And we have reflected on the future. And we have come to a firm and irrevocable conclusion that it is possible to transform the economy of Kenya from third world economy status to first world economy status in 1 generation. Let me repeat. The president, who is our thought leader, has helped us to envisage a new Kenya. We have come to the firm and irrevocable conclusion that it is possible to transform the economy of Kenya from third world economic status to first world economic status in 1 generation. And that's why Kenyans must be very, very firm and refuse any policy disruption that can roll us back. Because Africa and the developing world suffers from policy disruption. Unasikia mtu anasema atabomoa affordable housing, atabomoa SHA, atabomoa sijui nini. We need continuity. We need continuity. Not for 5 years, not for 10 years, not for 20 years, not for 30 years, 40, 50 years of continuity to transform our country. Other countries have done it. South Korea did it. Malaysia did it. Singapore did it. China did it. Kenya can do it. Ni fire, si fire. Ni fire, si fire. So the president has told us we must modernize our infrastructure, have more roads and superior roads. And if we continue at the pace we are doing things, we will not achieve this dream. That is why we have come up with the National Infrastructure Fund, which was in our manifesto. We had said in our manifesto that we will bring the National Infrastructure Fund. We have now brought it. The National Infrastructure Fund will help us get enough resources to build enough roads for our country. And therefore, since 1963 to now, we have built 20,000 kilometers of road. During a similar period, Japan has built 1.1 million kilometers of road. So, President Ruto has said 1963 to now, 20,000 kilometers of road. The next 7 years, 28,000 kilometers of road. Pesa tutapata wapi? Kwa National Infrastructure Fund. Ama namna gani jameni? Wale wanapinga National Infrastructure Fund, unapinga barabara. Na mnapinga uchumi wa Kenya. Ni kweli si kweli? Ni kweli si kweli? So we have to modernize our roads. We have to have money to modernize our roads. And you have seen, we have paid all the contractors for the stalled road projects. We have started dueling Rironi, Mau Summit Road. Ni kweli si kweli? And we have so many other dual carriageways we want to do, including Machakos Turnoff to Emali, including Kitengela to Namanga, including Marwa, Nanyuki, Isiolo, Makutano, Embu, Meru, and so many other roads across the country. Hii Rironi Mau Summit haitakomea Mau Summit. Branch moja itaenda Eldoret, iende Bungoma, iende Malaba. Hii ingine itatoka hapa Mau Summit, iende Kericho, iende Kisumu, iende mpaka Malaba, Busia, iende Busia. That is what we are doing for our country. We need more roads now, not tomorrow. Now, not tomorrow. We need to increase our railway from Naivasha and take it to the border with Uganda, and then we connect with the rest of the region. The railway construction from Naivasha to Malaba, in a few months, President Ruto is going to break ground. And we have not borrowed money. The first SGR we built using debt. This one, we are building using innovative funding models. We are using our own resources. Hata hii Rironi Mau Summit, hakuna deni. Na hakuna kuongeza kodi. Niseme nisiseme? Niseme niseme? Silimulisikia wale watu walikuwa naita bosi yangu Zakayo. Zile wasikia? Those characters, they are in for a rude shock. Because, you see, the president is a scientist, but he is also a thought leader. He understands that to build a nation, you don't look for short-term populism, quick fixes that will evaporate the next week. You must plan long-term. Even if it is turbulent now, you must plan long-term. Like a captain of a long haul, a long flight. If you are the captain of a long flight, 15 hours flight, you must plan the whole journey. Do not be disrupted by the turbulence during takeoff. You must steady the ship. You must steady the vehicle until you reach where you are reaching. Niseme nisiseme? Hii ujinga ya kutafuta umaarufu wa leo ambao utaisha kesho, tuwache kama Wakenya jameni. Isn't it? Now, Now, mumesikia waziri wetu wa fedha anafanya public participation ya budget. Niseme nisiseme? Niseme nisiseme? Because now the ship is a bit steady. Because now we are on the cruising level. The turbulence is gone. The plane now is stable. It is steady. President Ruto is bringing legislation, tax amendment laws. This February, tunaweka sheria bunge, tukiongozwa na William Ruto. Any Kenyan earning below 30,000 will not pay tax. Ni fire si fire. Ni fire si fire. Wale watu ya Zakayo wamezama wajazama. Watu ya Zakayo wamezama. We are going to reduce tax so that people earning an income of less than 30,000 shillings will not pay any tax. Kama rais wetu angeingiwa na woga, if he was a coward, if he didn't make the hard decisions in 2022 to steady the economy, we will not be talking about exempting Kenyans from paying tax today. Na sijui kama mnaelewa, hiyo group ya less than 30,000 and less, 1.5 million Kenyans who are going to be exempted from tax. Rais Ruto, ni fire si fire, ni noma si noma. We built more roads, we built more railways, we built a new airport, and the solution, National Infrastructure Fund and the Sovereign Wealth Fund. Kwa hayo mengi, Rais Ruto, ni fire si fire.
Anania gumumno metutoa mbali. Aya, UDA, 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 UDA. Kazi ni kazi, kazi ni kazi, kazi ni kazi. Harambe, harambe, harambe. UDA, UDA. Kazi ni kazi, kazi ni kazi. Salala. Ni leo si leo, ni leo si leo. Basi tunaweza keti. Ndugu zangu wanachama wa UDA, kwanza wacha nichukue nafasi hii kuwashukuru sana kwa kunipatia nafasi ya kuwa kiongozi wa chama cha kitaifa, chama ambayo kinaelewa mambo ya Kenya, chama ya UDA. Mimi ninasema kwa heshima kubwa, asanteni sana. Asanteni sana. Narudia tena kusema asanteni sana. Ya pili, mimi nataka nichukue nafasi hii niwakaribishe hapa State House leo, kwa sababu ninyi ni wanachama wa UDA na muko hapa kwa sababu chama ya UDA ndani ya Kenya Kwanza ni chama ambayo inaendesha serikali ya Kenya, si ndio? Bila chama ya UDA mimi singekuwa hapa State House, si namna hiyo? Kwa hivyo nasema asante sana kwa Wakenya wote, na mimi nimefurahi sana, nasema karibuni. Karibuni. Karibuni hapa State House. Na karibu katika mkutano huu wa viongozi wa chama ya UDA. Mimi ninaelewa ya kwamba kila mmoja wenu hamjakuja hapa kwa sababu mmekosa kazi, ama mmepotea njia, ama mmekuja utalii. Nyinyi mmekuja hapa makusudi, mukijua mnaenda wapi. Ni kweli ama si kweli bwana? Si ndio? Kwani kuna mtu hapa amepotea njia? Kila mtu amekuja hapa akijua anaenda wapi. Na nyinyi wote mmekuja, na kila mmoja wenu tuko hapa na watu 12,353. Hawa watu wote waliofika hapa wamelipa fee ya kuwa aspirants wa chama ya UDA. Na mimi nataka niwaeleze na niwashukuru sana kwa kujitokeza kusimama kutafuta uongozi ndani ya chama ya UDA. Nikiona hapa tuko na wale wanaotafuta kiti ya grassroots. Kiti ya grassroots. Kwa sababu kiti ile ya grassroots ni kiti ya MCA. Ukiona viongozi 10,000 wanatafuta nafasi ya kuongoza kwa viti ambayo ikipatikana ni 1,450, we have more than 8 aspirants per seat of MCA. Ni kumaanisha ya kwamba nyinyi mnatambua ya kwamba pale grassroots wananchi wanasema chama ni UDA. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Ni kweli ama si kweli? Mimi nataka niseme hivi. Kwanza, tafadhali tuketi. Mimi nataka niseme hivi. Kabla sijasema mambo machache. Huyu naibu wa rais Abraham Kithure Kindiki anatosha ama atoshi? Anatosha ama atoshi? Ni fire si fire? Ni fire si fire? Wapi nduru ya Profesa Kithure Kindiki? Unajua, mimi wakati mmoja, tafadhali tuketi, mimi wakati mmoja nilikuwa deputy wa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta. Si ni kweli? Na ile kazi huyu muungwana anafanya ni ile nilikuwa nikifanya wakati nilikuwa naibu wa rais wa President Uhuru Kenyatta. Si ni kweli? Mimi nimefurahi sana kwamba leo niko na msaidizi, principal assistant, ambaye anaelewa kazi yake. Si ndio? Mimi niwaulize, kama ilikuwa ule jamaa mwingine, niwaulize, angekuwa na akili ya kuelewa mambo vile huyu jamaa anaelewa? Profesa Kindiki ni fire, si fire bwana? Sasa mnajua kazi yangu imekuwa rahisi kwa sababu leo niko na msaidizi ambaye anaelewa mambo ya serikali, anaelewa barabara, anaelewa stima, anaelewa universal health coverage, anaelewa elimu, anaelewa mpaka hata maneno ya savings, anaelewa mambo ya serikali. Kindiki ni fire, si fire? Si ndio bwana? Sasa tunagawana kazi, si ndio? Na mimi nimefurahi sana yale mambo yote naibu wetu wa rais na deputy party leader wetu wa UDA amesema hapa. Sio kazi ya William Ruto peke yake. Hiyo ni kazi ya Wakenya wengi ambao tumeshirikiana na wao. Ni kazi ambayo inahusu wanachama wote wa chama ya UDA. Kila mwanachama wa UDA mahali popote ulipo, ujue ya kwamba hiyo maneno Profesa Kindiki amefanya hapa, wewe ni sehemu ya wale watu waliotusaidia kutimiza haya mambo ambayo tulikubaliana na Wakenya. Tunaelewana jameni? Kwanza mimi nataka kurecognize hapa tuko na candidates ama aspirants wa kiti ya governor. Kama umekuja hapa wewe ni aspirant wa kiti ya governor, simama tukupigie makofi. Hawa majamaa tuko na aspirants wa governor 149. Mwapigie makofi jameni. Wameketi kila mahali hapa. Asanteni, ketini. Hapa tuko na aspirants wanaotafuta kiti ya Senate. Wasimame wakiwa hapa wale wanatafuta kiti ya Senate. Tuko na aspirants 279 wanaotafuta kiti ya Senate. Mwapigie makofi jameni. Tuko hapa na kina mama aspirants wale wanaotafuta kiti ya women rep 323 aspirants looking for women rep. Mwapigie makofi jameni. Tuko hapa na aspirants wanaotafuta kiti ya ubunge, members of the National Assembly 1372. Mwapigie makofi jameni. Mwapigie makofi. Aya. Alafu sasa tuko na grassroots. Tuko na majamaa wa grassroots, wale viongozi wa mashinani, kiti ya MCA pale karibu na Mwananchi 10,233. Tuwapigie makofi jameni. Kuna mambo jameni, kuna mambo. Tafadhali ketini. Tumekubaliana my friends, tumekubaliana. Na mimi nasema hivi, hawa viongozi wote tulikubaliana ya kwamba tutatekeleza manifesto yetu. Na leo tumeitisha hii mkutano, na nataka munisikize kwa makini. Kuna mambo mengi ambayo profesa amesema, ambayo serikali muliounda nyinyi kama wanachama wa UDA na Kenya Kwanza, hiyo serikali imetekeleza haya mambo yote, na kila mmoja wetu ako na nakala hapa. Kila mtu ako na nakala, si ndio? Kama hujapata nakala, usitoke hapa bila ya kuwa na nakala hii. Hii nakala inaonyesha ile ahadi tulitoa na ile kazi tumefanya kutekeleza ahadi hiyo. Na tumefikisha karibu 75% tukielekea 80% ya kutimiza ile manifesto, kwa sababu niliwaeleza ya kwamba manifesto hii sio gazeti ya kusoma na kufunga nayo nyama. Manifesto hii ni mkataba ya wananchi waliopiga kura na serikali yao. And I want to tell you that for the first time we are implementing this manifesto page by page, paragraph by paragraph, chapter by chapter, and we will make sure that by the time we come to the next election, we can give a good account of what we have done in fulfillment of the commitments that were written in the manifesto with the people and the electorate of the people of Kenya. Because that is how we are going to change a nation. Na mimi nasema hivi, wana UDA, tunaongea leo maneno ya manifesto kwa sababu siasa ya Kenya imebadilika. Kuna watu wamekwama katika siasa ya ukabila, siasa ya chuki, siasa ya watu binafsi. We are telling them Kenya has changed. We have changed this nation, and that is why we have had to do everything that we could, including making very difficult decisions, because we had to implement the manifesto that we agreed with the people of Kenya. We told the people of Kenya we are going to transform agriculture. We had to make difficult decisions to transform agriculture. We had to fight with cartels in the coffee sector. We had to fight with cartels in the sugar sector. Hata ikafika wakati mmoja mkasikia nikiwaambia mambo ni matatu. Mulisikia hamukumsikia? Mulisikia hamukusikia? Wale niliwaambia mambo ni matatu ni kwa sababu walikuwa wanasimama kinyume na kujaribu kutuzuia kutekeleza manifesto yetu ambayo tulikubaliana na wananchi wa Kenya. Na mimi nataka niwaeleze leo, we have transformed the agricultural sector the way Professor Kindiki has said. We had a difficult time kwa sababu ya mambo ya cost of living. And I want to tell the people of Kenya, what have we done to address the challenge of cost of living? We have done 3 fundamental things. Number 1, we have subsidized production. Today we are producing more food. We are producing more tea. We are producing more coffee. We are producing more milk because we have invested public resources in production so that we can alleviate the cost of food in Kenya. Number 2, we have created opportunities for work and business. Tumehakikisha ya kwamba kupitia ile maneno Professor amesema, in housing we have generated 500,000 jobs. In digital jobs platform we have generated 300,000 jobs. In Kazi Maju, export of labor, we have generated 539,000 jobs. In the other programs that we have undertaken, including Nairobi River here, including hiring teachers, including hiring more policemen, including the public sector, we have employed more people. Today, we can say without fear of any contradiction, upwards of 1.5 million Kenyans who are not working in 2022, today we have secured opportunities for them to work. And by so doing, we are getting more citizens to afford to live in Kenya because they have income. We have made sure that there is more income in the hands and pockets of the people of Kenya, including the Nyota program. Tomorrow morning, I will be in Malindi. The next day, I will be in Mombasa to give resources to young people in the Nyota program. Next week on Wednesday, I will be in Mandera, and then I will be in Wajir, and then I will be in Garissa, because we must make sure that more people have income so that we can reduce and manage the cost of living. Number 3, we have also now begun the process of bringing down taxation. Mumesikia Profesa vile amesema, bunge ikifunguliwa in the next week, tunapeleka mapendekezo kule bunge. Kila Mkenya ambaye mshahara yake ni 30,000 na kuja chini, hakuna kulipa ushuru tena. That is number 1. Because we have steadied the economy. Tunaelewana, my friends? We would not be able to reduce taxes if we had not set the foundation right. And that is why we are going to Parliament. We are now saying that any Kenyan who earns less than 30,000 shillings will not pay any taxes. Number 2, we are saying any Kenyan who earns up to 50,000, we are reducing their taxes from 30% to 25%. 1.5 million working Kenyans will not pay any taxes. 500,000, another 500,000 working Kenyans will have their taxes reduced from 30% to 25%. That is how progressively we are going to make sure that we manage the cost of living, so that the people at the bottom of the pyramid, we can be able to support them. Wakati tulisema bottom up, it was not a slogan. It was because we want to mind about the people at the bottom of the pyramid, give them an opportunity to live decently like the rest of the people of the Republic of Kenya. Tunaelewana jameni? Na ndio sababu hiyo munaona vile mambo inabadilika. Slowly by slowly, step by step, action by action, manifesto chapter by chapter, we are changing the Republic of Kenya. And that is why I am confident today that going into the future, all of us, leaving no one behind, we are going to change this country, and we are going to move Kenya from a third world country to a first world country in one generation, in our lifetime. Tunaelewana jameni? Tunaelewana? We have transformed our economy. Today, our economy is the 6th largest economy in Africa. Inflation is down. Our dollar reserves are up. Our exchange rate has come down. We have interest rates are coming down. Kenya is much more stable. All the rating agencies, all the credit rating agencies, from Fitch, Standard & Poor's, to Moody's, all of them have upgraded Kenya's credit rating. All of them are saying Kenya's economy is stable. It is not the social media. It is not the media. It is credit rating agencies who understand where the economy of Kenya is. And they are giving us a thumbs up that Kenya's economy is stable and we are moving forward. Tunaelewana, my friends? Tuko pamoja? So, from the economy to transforming agriculture, to transforming our education, to transforming our health, to transforming the jobs market, we are moving Kenya one step at a time in the right direction. And that is why I am very confident that as you run in UDA, be confident that you will be part of the team that will make history by moving Kenya from a third world to a first world country. And by the way, it is the reason why we called this meeting. Tuliitisha hii mkutano ni mapema kidogo kwa mambo ya uchaguzi wa next year. Lakini tuliwaita mapema because we don't want you to be just a leader in UDA. We want you to have a reason. Nyinyi mnanielewa? Narudia kusema. We want you to have a reason. Why have we called this meeting? We have called this meeting because the politics of Kenya is changing. The politics of Kenya is no longer about tribal arithmetic. The politics of Kenya is no longer about recycled, backward, primitive leadership. The politics of Kenya has changed. It is about a vision. It's about ideas. It's about issues. It's about a manifesto, an agenda, a program for the transformation of Kenya. That is what the citizens of this great nation are looking for. Our competitors are stuck in tribal arithmetic. Our friends are stuck in division and hate. They are selling to us hate. This community versus that community. This region versus that region. This person versus the other one. We are telling our competitors, it is no longer about personalities. It is no longer about tribal arithmetic. It is no longer about selling this community against the other. It is about a vision. It's about ideas. It's about issues. Because you come from a certain community. You are not here because you come from a certain region. You are not here because of your social status. You are here because together we want to develop the vision, put together the ideas, assemble all issues, develop an agenda, and be able to transform our nation together. That is why you're here. And I want you to know, good people, we have taken time. Professor Kindiki has taken time. We have written, you are going to go home with a pamphlet because we want you to understand why you are looking for a position of leadership in Kenya and in UDA. It is because we have a vision for Kenya. It is because we have good ideas and we have an agenda to transform this nation. And you are joining a team that will move Kenya forward. Nyinyi mko tayari jameni? Tumeelewana? Tulichukua nafasi hii kuwaeleza polepole kwa lugha mnayoelewa. Ili wakati wewe unatafuta kiti kwa UDA, ujue ya kwamba unatafuta kiti kwa sababu gani. Kama unafukuza mambo ya ukabila, you are in the wrong place. Mnanielewa? You are in the wrong place. Hapa, we are brothers and sisters, one people, one nation, with a common vision, driving an agenda for the transformation of our nation and leaving nobody behind. Mnanielewa? Tumekubaliana? So I want to persuade you that you are in the right forum. You are in the right party. You are on the right side of history, because we are slowly making history in the Republic of Kenya. Dunia hiyo tumekubaliana? Mnasema tutatembea pamoja? Mnasema tutatembea pamoja katika kutransform Kenya? Mimi nataka niwaambie tu mambo mawili ama matatu, alafu nijibu maswali mawili. Yale maneno tumefanya, you know, watu walituambia when we started, walituambia haya maneno ni uongo, haya maneno hayawezekani. Serikali ingine walijaribu housing wakashindwa, wengine walijaribu transformation wakashindwa. Hii ni porojo, hii ni uongo, haiwezekani. But we are telling them today that you called us liars, you said it's not possible. Today, before your own eyes, we are demonstrating, not in word, but in deed, that it is possible to transform our agriculture, it is possible to undertake affordable housing, it is possible to transform our education, it is possible to transform our health, it is possible to have a program to create jobs, it is possible for us to have a savings culture that will eventually free us from debt, that will eventually free us from begging from other countries, that we can undertake and underwrite our own development using our own savings and our own resources. We have demonstrated in clear terms that that is possible. Ni kweli ama si kweli, my friends? Mnasema tuendelee ama tuendelee? Mnasema tuendelee ama tuendelee? Si walisema ati tunasema uongo? Si walisema ya kwamba haiwezekani? Mimi nawauliza, mambo ya kilimo imewezekana ama haijawezekana? Bei ya mbolea imepungua haijapungua? Tumeongeza mazao ya kilimo hatujaongeza? Bei ya kahawa imeongezeka haijaongezeka? Ya majani chai tumeongeza production hatujaongezeka? Mimi nimewaeleza ya kwamba walisema ya kwamba mambo ya elimu leo CBC tumenyorosha hatujanyorosha? Walimu 1,100 tumeajiri hatujaajiri? Madarasa 23,000 tumejenga hatujajenga? New funding model, ile universities ambazo zilikuwa zimeenda bankrupt, leo I want to challenge anybody to go and talk to any leader of a university, any vice chancellor. They will tell you the new funding model is changing the way we are delivering matters education, and universities are getting out of insolvency because we have sorted out the problem that we had in education. We told you, good people, that we are going to change the law, that matters of health, we are going to change health, that health is no longer going to be the preserve of those who have jobs, those who can afford, those who have the means, that health, as the Constitution, Section 43 of the Constitution tells us, that health is not a privilege for those who can afford, it is a right for every citizen of the Republic of Kenya. We are demonstrating that that is possible. Tunaelewana jameni? We told them we are going to create jobs. I stand on this podium today confidently that we have created close to 2 million jobs, real, demonstrable, actual, practical jobs in the Republic of Kenya. People who are not working in 2022, today they are working, and we are progressing. The 500,000 working in affordable housing will get to 1 million shortly. The 300 working in the digital jobs platform shortly will get to 1 million. More young people. In fact, every week, I want to challenge these good people. Every week, between 300 and 500 young people are leaving this country to go and work abroad, because we have created a channel, a green channel, for them to work abroad. without being abused, without being conned, because we have created a channel and because we understand the importance of every young person being given an opportunity to work. Ni kweli si kweli, my friends? Munasema tuendelee tuendelee. So we have proven that every word we said, we meant it. And we are delivering. And we are going to change Kenya. I just want to tell you that going forward, tukifika hapa mbele, kwanza nataka niwaulize kila mmoja wenu, mkirudi nyumbani, tumesema ya kwamba we want to democratize wealth. Tunataka mali ya umma, mali ya serikali, mali tuliojenga sisi sote kama Wakenya. Kila Mkenya apate nafasi ya kununua shares kwa ile kampuni ya serikali ambayo tunafanya privatization. Shilingi 900 peke yake utakuwa na share 100 ya Kenya Pipeline. 900 shillings. Tunaelewana? Na vile tutapatiana hizo shares, kwanza tunaanza na ule mtu wa mwisho. Kabla yule amenunua shares mingi kupata, yule amenunua shares kidogo anapatiwa. Kila mtu ambaye ataweka pesa yake kwa IPO ya Kenya Pipeline, we will start with the bottom. Hizo shares zikiisha, kama shares zitaisha kabla haijafikia wale wako juu, itakuwa ni hivyo. Si ndio? Kwa sababu we want as many as possible. We want a minimum of 50,000 Kenyans to own shares in Kenya Pipeline, so that as it makes money for everybody. Tunaelewana jameni? Mimi nataka niwaambie mambo matatu ya muhimu ambayo tutafanya tukisonga hapa mbele. Jambo la kwanza, tumesema tuko na program kama tutatransform hii nchi. Tumetoa mahali ilikuweko, today it is stable, we are running all our programs, but what we have done is not enough. We need to do more, because we have the capacity to do more. And that is why we have set an ambitious target for ourselves. We have said we are going to have a program of 5 trillion Kenya shillings to do 3 principal things. Number 1, we want to transform our agriculture. Kilimo yetu ya mambo ya kungojea mvua imefika karibu mwisho. We have exhausted the land that we can use on rain-fed agriculture. And therefore, going into the future, we must now have modern agriculture on irrigation. And that is why we are setting our eyes on building 50 mega dams already identified. They have been in our books for the last 20, 30 years. Now is the time to implement. We are going to build another 200 large dams and thousands of micro dams. We want to bring 2.5 million acres of land into agricultural production. Ndio tukomeshe kabisa shida na aibu ya njaa katika taifa letu la Kenya. We must put to an end. Leo, ndugu zangu wana UDA, bado tunaagiza mahindi, bado tunanunua mchele kutoka nje, bado tunanunua kahawa, wheat, ngano kutoka nje. We are importing maize, we are importing sugar, we are importing wheat, we are importing sugar, we are importing edible oil. We are spending 500 billion Kenya shillings every year to import products that we can grow in the Republic of Kenya. And that is why we must transform our agriculture so that we stop importing anything. In fact, we should increase the number of exports of the products from the Republic of Kenya. We need to implement that program. We need between 1 and 1.5 trillion Kenya shillings. Now, chama ya UDA, hatutaki unashindana na yeye, si adui yako. Mkenya ule wa chama ingine sio adui yako. They are just our competitors. Sindio? Ni competitors wetu. na wale baada ya uchaguzi tutaishi pamoja nchi moja. We want to live together. Wewe, baada ya wewe kushindana na mwenzako kwa UDA, baada ya uchaguzi tutapaki wanachama wa chama moja. We must learn to tolerate one another. We must learn to be patient with one another. Especially, wacha niseme nikiwa hapa, especially, nimetembea sehemu nyingi. Unafika kwa mkutano, especially kiongozi mama anasimama, anapigiwa kelele na wanaume hapo chini. Please. Wewe ni mwanaume wa aina gani unapigia kelele mama? Tafuta mwanaume mwenzako uende upigie kelele. Please. Sikizeni. Tuko na viongozi wachache wa kina mama. Na tuko na viongozi wachache wa kina mama kwa sababu saa zingine siasa inakuwa na fujo mingi mpaka kina mama wanaogopa. So we must stop the prejudice against women. Women are as good leaders as everybody else. So please, tafadhali. Ama namna gani jameni? Tunaelewana? Na pia mimi nataka nieleze pia kina mama. Kwa sababu saa zingine kina mama wanadharau wamama wenzao. Sasa tayari mko na shida, mnadharauliwa na wanaume. Alafu mnakuja kuongezea ingine, mnajidharau wenyewe. Sasa mtapona namna gani jameni? So please, nyinyi kina mama, msikie. Please, you know, na saa zingine unajua nyinyi ndio mnachochea wanaume kudharau wanawake. So nawaomba tuwe ni chama ya nidhamu, ya heshima. Heshima si utumwa. Tumeelewana jameni? Nasema tuendelee. So nafikiri kwa sababu ya masaa, mimi nimefurahi sana. Hii mkutano ni mkutano ambao umefaulu. Tuko na watu wengi hapa. Tuko na watu wengi hapa. Hata mimi nimeshtuka kidogo. Kwa sababu ya, unajua nimekuwa mwanachama wa, nimekuwa kwa hii siasa kwa muda. Si ndio? Since I was 29, I have been around politics. But I must confess that there has never been a meeting of 12,000 aspirants. It has never happened. And this is a big statement from the people of Kenya that they do not want politics of personalities or ethnicity. They want politics that unites the nation, that have a plan, that have an agenda for the transformation of Kenya. This is a clear testimony. It cannot be clearer than this. It cannot be as clear as we can see it here today. And there are people from every part of the Republic of Kenya. So mimi nasema asanteni sana kwa kupata nafasi ya kuja hapa. Asanteni sana kwa kunitembelea. Si namna hiyo? Harambee! Harambee! UDA! 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 Kazi ni kazi! Kazi ni kazi! Kazi ni kazi! Tafadhali tuketi ndio niseme mambo ya mwisho. Mimi nataka niulize, najua sitaki nimalize hii mkutano before tupate feedback kidogo. Mimi nataka MCA aspirant mmoja, mwanaume kutoka Nairobi, moja. Kuja hapa. Kutoka Nairobi. Kuja hapo. Kutoka haya, simama hapo. Nataka aspirant mmoja mrembo kutoka Central Kenya. Kutoka Central Kenya. From Central Kenya, one lady aspirant. From Central Kenya. Haya, kuja. No, just wait. Kutoka Central Kenya, haya, simama hapo. Haya, ngojea. Ngojea. Ketini. Nataka hawa ni MCA. Haya, nataka mbunge mmoja. Nataka mbunge mmoja mwanaume kutoka Rift Valley. Mbunge. Candidate ya mbunge. Haya, kuja bwana mrefu. Haya, ni kati ya huyu na huyu. Generali ndio nani? Okay, just wait. It's okay. Asante.